Kia ora, folks. Welcome back to another week in the workshop. This week I want to crack on with the outdoor pantry, see if I can make some good progress on that. But in order to do that, I need materials. So I've got my new in-feed support table set up. If you haven't seen the video for me making that, check out last week's video after this one. And I'm going to use that to process these guys. And I also have the 3 level 1 brakes that I made last week. I want to clean them up on the planer and get them into clamps to turn them into these guys. So let's go. The thing I'm trying to achieve is to bring a pallet in from the outside world, break it up really quickly, and then store it inside efficiently. That's kind of the main reason for doing all of this. And these panels, particularly one like this, right? It's got 3 rows, big bits of wood. I wouldn't like to use that for furniture or a shelf even, because it's gonna bow and warp. So the whole objective of these guys is to enable me to glue together a panel with really thin strips. And the thinner the strips, the more dimensionally stable the panel is. The last couple of weeks has been developing the system so that I can get to this point. And now the exciting part is going to be using the infeed table that I made to turn these guys into strips that I can then glue up into the final panel product over the table saw. I'm getting ready to make my first cut on these guys. I have swapped over to the ripping blade, and because of the way the panel jig works, these big panels have a good edge and a bad edge. So this is the good edge here. So that edge goes up against the fence. And this first pass, I'm just trying to clean up the bad edge and make it the good edge. So that's what's on the agenda. I've got myself some outfeed support. I have my infeed table and I have my feather board. So let's get this set to just take a millimetre or so off the bad edge. Wow. Compared to the last time I tried to mill up a big chunky mega slab on the table saw, that was just incredibly easy. Yeah, so infeed support for the win. Next, what I want to do is slice up enough bits from this so that I can make the next panel. I'm making stock for the outdoor. I don't know if you can see that, but there's steam coming out of my mouth. I'm making stock for the outdoor pantry, and for that I need, 10, 12 mil stock. So I'm going to set the gap at 12 mil and rip, I think 6, maybe 7 slices. And that's all I'll need for a level 3 panel. That was super exciting. Still hard work because it's a big chunk of wood, but to be able to get these strips out, and look at them, So now you can see how many little strips I'll get when I make this into a level 3 panel. And the good news is I only need 300 mil, and that's about there. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strips to make one panel. And there you have it, folks. Another zero stress glue up brought to you by Woodcraft and DIY. Tomorrow we make things. Yes. Good morning. So, what are we doing? Get this guy out of clamps, obviously, but I don't really want to show you a close up until I've sent it through the planer. Don't want to set up the planer till I've ripped off a few more strips to make the next one. So I'll be declamping, ripping, planing. Then you'll get to see the level 3 panel, the first one. We'll kind of get to see it together. Then it's all about the drawers. Now I have some bits that I've already made up, grooves in and all, but I don't think they're the right height, so I need to check all that out. It's been a while since I've looked at this project, but I think there's 2 more small drawers to make. It'd be great to get them both glued up today. So we'll see, but that's the plan. First, out of clamps, then rip, then new panel, then plane. Ordered a table saw, we'll rip 5 more bits. Change of plans. These drawers these drawer sides are too short. I made a mistake. They're 165 and they're supposed to be 185. So I need to add 20 mil to these guys. And I have a bunch of scrap. I also need fronts and backs for those drawers. So let's see what I can make out of this stuff before I go on ahead and use the new level 3 stuff. By the time I've done this guy here will be ready to come out of clamps. Then I can do them both at once and they'll be exactly the same thickness. So first we're going to make these drawer sides the right height. Then we're going to see what else we can get out of this lot in terms of front and backs. Then we'll play with the level 3 panels. I am really keen, but order operations dictates that I need to do the drawers first. That might seem a little crude, and I'll grant you it is pretty crude, but it's also pretty straight, it's pretty flat, and this is a drawer that's going to hold potatoes. Now, I am going to take this guy out of clamps, but I'm not ready for the reveal just yet. I have this box of scraps I want to turn into another level 1 panel, so I'll dick around with that for a while. We'll let this air dry a bit. And then final session of the day, then I'll do the planing and maybe even a little bit of sanding. Magic clamps away. Too corny? I had to stuff around with those little short bits. That's going to be tedious, I reckon. That was actually surprisingly easy. I had enough big chunky bits to do a whole panel. It's going to be fun to plane. There's some that are quite a bit thicker than others. Didn't make a massive dent in my scrap bucket. I think there's probably less than a panel in that lot. Got all my pieces. Drawers are amazing, man. This is only 2 drawers. Just 2. And not even the bottoms yet. So many bits. Anyway, I'll quickly knock them into the right sizes on the table saw. They're all pretty close, but need some nibbles here and there. And then cut the joinery, bang them together. Alright, I flew through that whole kind of box making process. So if you want to see more detail, I'll link some videos below. And yeah, it's probably just a couple back. You'll see ones where I've actually made just kind of step by step on the drawers, or at least a bit slower than that. Now we're talking pallet wood perfect, these guys. I'm looking for really tight glue seams. I'm looking for no overlapping joints that would cause structural issues. I'm looking for a lack of nail holes. I'm looking for a lack of flaws. Now this is a big flaw right in the middle. It's in such a thin strip that its effect on everything else is going to be very small, and it'll become a feature in the final piece. I'm very pleased with that. Very consistent, very smooth, very flat. And the beauty is that I can make these things as thick as I like this way. These are really thin because I need thin stock for the project I'm working on, but for tabletops or benches or whatever else you might want to make, chairs, very, very nice. Very pleased. All right, that's it for tonight. We'll catch you guys in the morning. Morena, day 3, and bit of a short day today. I've got a case of shingles and it's kicking my ass. So I'm just going to take it a bit easy. So what I want to get done is draw bottoms for these guys. So get them all out of clamps. And I've got a piece of timber Catherine's taken out of the house. It's really long and thin. That'll be quite good for the draw bottoms. It's got a bit of borer in it, or it's had a bit of borer in it. So I don't want to use it for anything too critical. Draw bottom seems like a good idea, so I'll take that, I'll chop it down because it's really long, and then put it through the planer, glue some bits together so I can make draw bottoms for these guys. And I've also got a heap of these jars. I want to change up my storage on the back wall over here. You might have seen I've got screws and stuff in them, so I want to reorganize it, take some stuff off the wall over there that I don't really use, put it in the storage in the back corner that is a bit difficult to access, and put the screws and stuff out there where they'll be a bit more useful and easy to get to. I like these jars because you can see through, so you can see what's in them. You can label them easily, and you can fit your hand inside easily to get whatever's in there. So while my shop is a bit of a dust bowl at the moment, it's good to have stuff inside a container. So that I might also do this other. All right, time to get into it. I've been babbling for ages. I'll shush now. Working. Ripping all the strips yesterday really put some solid resin on this. This has been soaking overnight. Normally you can just brush off the stuff with the towel, but this is caked on. Back in the bath, I think it's needs a bit more work. You can really see the damage the borer's done now that's planed up. They've had quite a munch. I'm going to persevere. I don't see any signs that there's new bugs, current bugs, so I just give this a really good waxing, and yeah, I think she'll be alright. The bottoms aren't glued in anyway, so easy to swap them out if there's a problem. Quite like the jars along the windowsill because it doesn't block the light, but I still get quite a lot of storage, so I like that a lot. Hopefully nobody was expecting a magnificent transformation, but yeah, it's tidier than it was. This corner is also tidier than it was. The main thing is that the stuff over here in this corner is stuff I don't really use, whereas the stuff over here I use quite a lot. And I have all of my screws on the windowsill. I can find them, and various other project bits and bobs in jars, so I can see at a glance what I have. So I'll continue that as I get more jars. I'll expand that over here, and at some point I'll take care of this mess. Okay, time to turn these into bottoms for these. So I'll just get them out of clamps, then cut them to size on the table saw. I'll use the dado stack to put a rabbet around 3 sides so that it can slide into the groove because it's a bit thick this way. And then I'll wax them and install them and call those jobs done. So I'm just going to fly through that. I really paid the heavy price of winging it there. Measure twice, cut once. I think it was measure maybe half a time, cut about 30. It's late. These guys fit. So I've just got to sand the edges, give them a bit of a wax, pin the ends, and then then we're nearly there. We'll just go and check and make sure they fit. That's pretty good. Alright, let's go see if they fit. Some bonus content here for you loyal folks who've stuck around to the end. You might notice that this setup has progressed a little. I forgot to film the fitting of the drawers last time, so done a bit of work on the box. Anyway, these two drawers fit nicely, borers and all. Very pleased with that. It's coming along. It's very slow burn, but you know, if you stuck around with me this long, thank you very much. Maybe consider popping on a like and clicking that subscribe button. I'm not sure what's in store next week, but definitely will be releasing another video on Friday night New Zealand time, so I'll catch you guys then.